I didn't know whether there was. Okay.
Dedicated for me. Yeah.
Steve, you've named the squad. How much did you debate, agonise, find it tough, or is it more about continuity being key?
No, you certainly, when you're naming a squad for an event as big as the World Cup, it takes a toll. You've got to think a lot about it. You've got to try and make sure you get the balance right in your squad. I feel I've done that. Everybody knows the way I worked. I don't think there was any point in me talking about what I spoke about building experience over the squad. We've done that in terms of qualification, where they've shown that this is a group of players who understand how to qualify for major tournaments. And I think on the back of that, we've now been to 2 major tournaments. This will be our 3rd. And hopefully the experience of the boys that have been at major tournaments before will come to the fore in this one, and we'll do something that no Scottish team has ever done before.
Let's look at the goalkeepers then. What did you have to consider, and how difficult a decision was that?
Always difficult when you've got goalkeepers that are not playing regular. I think I've touched on this before. As long as goalkeepers are working to their maximum in training, you feel that they can come in and play for a number of games. Obviously Craig's slightly different in that he picked up an injury. We've had him monitored. We've got good reports back from Hearts. I sent Chris Woods up to watch him in training. He's training very well. Craig assures us he's fully fit. And he deserves to go because he played a part in the qualifying campaign. He missed the last tournament. He showed a tremendous resilience to be in the squad, and he deserves to be there. Angus played in a game last week, an under-23 game down in England, just to get some match practice, so he's did a little bit of that. And Liam's in there because he's a very good third goalkeeper. He's good around the squad, his character's good, the players respect him, and he works ever so hard in camp, so that's how I managed to come down on the 3 goalkeepers.
Craig's fitness, is that a risk in any way? Because I saw Chris Woods when I was up at Hearts training myself. Is that something you've had to get guarantees from him, or the Hearts medical staff?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Obviously, we can change a goalkeeper at any time across the tournament. So if Craig was to struggle a little bit with injury, which hopefully he won't, and we're pretty certain that he won't do that, we can always have the option to change him. When I go away, I will put a young goalkeeper into the squad as a training goalkeeper, a number 27, a 4th, which should alleviate a little bit of pressure on the goalkeepers in terms of training load. So that's something I've got in mind. I can't give you a name just now because we haven't told the player himself.
What about Ross Stewart coming in? How key is that?
You've jumped straight to the forwards.
So, yeah.
You missed the defenders in the midfield. I thought you were going to go through it. I thought you were going through it logically.
Yeah, Ross Stewart. We'll come back. Don't worry. Somebody else will get you. What about Ross Stewart? Because in terms of his form, end of the season, obviously should have another big game to come as well.
Yeah, should have. Now, listen, I think it's a good story. Ross obviously was in my squad a few years ago, showing that he could come up to this level, was good in the squad. And then he's had a terrible run of injury. And then obviously this season, certainly the latter half of the season from January onwards, he's hit a rich vein of form, where he's shown that he can score big goals in big games. Probably reference the Arsenal game in the Cup, where he shows that he can have an impact on games of that level, which the World Cup will be a very high level as well. He's shown that he can score from the bench, and he's a striker in form, so I decided to add him to the group.
Given that he's not been involved with the group as of late as well, is that an issue in any way, or is it more just about form at this stage?
No, for Ross I think it's just form. Like I said, he's been in the group before, so the vast majority of the players will know him. He fitted in the group very well the last time he was in it. It was a few years ago mine, but he was good within the group, which I put a lot of importance on characters and people within the group, making sure that when you go away, you're going to be away, hopefully we're going to be away for 4 or 5 weeks. You need good relationships between all the players. It's very important that we have that.
Steve, are you struck by kind of the importance of this moment? It's 28 years since a Scotland manager announced a squad for a World Cup finals. The late Craig Brown, I think Tony Blair was the Prime Minister. We didn't have a First Minister here because the Scottish Parliament wasn't even open yet. Are you struck by that? How do you feel about the importance of this moment and the quality of the squad that you have here?
I think over the period of time since November, since we qualified, the magnitude of the event has become more and more clear to me. As I've travelled across America, every time I come up to Scotland, everybody seems to be very excited about it. So I understand the magnitude of the tournament. I understand the responsibility we've got to go there and produce our very best, and that's what we'll aim to do.
There's a striker there, Lauren Shankland. I'm not expecting you to give me your team line-up for the first game against.
Well, you know me too well.
Just overthink it. Please do it if you like. But the heartbreak that he's just suffered might be a motivational spur for him, and it could be, a big consolation. He might be leading the line for Scotland. You'd have no fears about the talents that Lauren Shankland has and the ability he has to get you goals if he's to lead the line for Scotland at a World Cup.
Yeah, I've got no fears about any of my players leading the line. Lawrence has had a fantastic season. His club have had a fantastic season. Obviously, it ends in a little bit of heartbreak at the weekend, which is part and parcel of football. Footballers are, in my experience, footballers are very resilient. They understand that the lows are probably more painful than the highs are exciting and enjoyable. So it'll take him a few days and a few chats, a few conversations. He just needs to decompress a little bit now, relax, and be ready to have a big impact on the squad in the tournament this summer.
Talking about conversations, have you had to have any difficult ones with people who've been left out, maybe Lennon Miller?
No, I always go back one squad. So there's 5 people that were in my squad in March that are not in this squad. So 5 very difficult conversations, and I think because Lennon's so young, was probably the most difficult squad. He'd been in a few squads, maybe felt as though he was going to be a regular in the squads, but I just felt that with the balance of the midfield that I've got, it was better to take an extra forward and than an extra midfield player. That was my thinking on that one.
Just one last one for me, if it's okay. When you look at this squad, how confident are you that these are the 26? This is a squad that for the first time can get Scotland beyond the group stages of a major international tournament and a World Cup?
That's why I picked them. So obviously I've got great confidence in them, and hopefully we can do what no Scottish team's ever done before.
Those conversations get any easier, Steve? You had maybe picked 3 or 3 major tournament squads now, but they still...
No, they get more difficult. I think they get more difficult because I've been there myself. I understand how disappointing it is to be told that you've just missed out on final selection. All those players have been very close. There's a number of players across the campaign who've had fantastic seasons who will also be disappointed that they're not in the squad. and I fully respect their disappointment, but they also have to understand that I'm the head coach. I can only pick 26. I work the way I work. That's not going to change. It's never going to change in the future. That's just me. That's how I work. And but disappointing for them, because I know how they'll be feeling.
In terms of Finlay Curtis, he'll grab the headlines for how well he's done at the end with Kilmarnock as well. What was his reaction like when you told him, and how big of an impact?
I don't tell them. I let their clubs tell them. I just put the squad out this morning. So Finlay will hopefully be jumping around the living room at this moment in time, or wherever he is in the world. I don't know. He's probably on holiday.
But impressed by his end to the season, especially.
Impressed when I brought him into the camp in March. Obviously, I brought him in to have a look at him to get a feel for the character, the person as much as the player, and he fitted in very well. He's got something a little bit different to what we've got. He's also shown that he can score a goal or two in a Kilmarnock team that was struggling down the bottom of the league. So since Finlay went there in January, along with a couple of other signs at Kilmarnock, the team has finished well. Finlay's finished the season in a great place, and yeah, it's nice to have a young one in the squad.
You mentioned you understand the magnitude of this occasion. For the Tartan Army, this sort of date circled in their diary for a while. Have you been approached by members of the Tartan Army? What's the fan reaction been like to yourself in the last couple of months since November?
Brilliant. I haven't had one that's given me any stick, so that makes a change. No, they've been great. The fans have been great. Everybody comes up. Obviously, camera phones are the worst thing that's ever invented now, because instead of autographs, you're doing picture after picture after picture, which is great, and everybody's really grateful to this squad of players that they've managed to get them to a major tournament. So if I played a small part in that, that's great as well.
Is Finlay a great example of what can happen if young players take that opportunity to go out and play? Because I don't think he was even in the 21 squad back in November, and now he finds himself taking that leap, going all alone, and finds himself going to a World Cup.
Young players need to play football. If they want to improve, they have to play. And sometimes that can involve making big decisions. And I think for Finlay to make a decision to leave Rangers in January and go and play at Kilmarnock shows you that if you make the right choices at the right time, and then you have the ability to back up that decision, then things can work in your favour.
We don't know whether he would have been in the squad or not, but have you spoken to Tommy Conway? We spoke to him a few months ago.
Yeah, I spoke to Tommy. Obviously devastated with injury. I thought he did well for us in March. He had a great season with his club, and it's very disappointing for Tommy that he misses out. But he's also not the first player across the three campaigns that we've qualified for who've missed out with late injuries. It's unfortunate, and we talked about it at length. It's part and parcel of football. The most important thing for Tommy now is to get his head round it and understand that he has to be ready for Euro 2028.
Final broadcast questions, please. Steve, you've still got 2 games to play. You obviously hope to avoid injury in those. Have you asked some of the players that haven't made the squad to make sure?
Yeah, there'll be a standby list that players will be informed that they're on that standby list. We're not asking them not to relax and enjoy the summer, but to make sure that they stay in reasonable shape just in case, because you can replace right up until I think 24 hours before the first game for a serious injury. So there'll be a standby list.
Steve, it's been quite a year for Scottish football. You've attracted a lot of new fans from around the world. A year for the underdog, for making history, including Scotland making it back to a World Cup. Do you look at everything that's happened over the last year in Scottish football and take inspiration from that? Do you want your players to take inspiration from that?
No, it's been a great year for sure. The most competitive Scottish Premier League in a long time. It's been good to see. Obviously, the national team qualifying for a World Cup after 28 years. I think the feel-good factor's there, and it's something that we have to try and build on.
Does it give you extra belief that maybe this year anything can happen in football?
I've always got that belief. I've been in football a long time, and I know that if you do things properly, you believe in what you're doing, and you get the little bit of luck that sometimes you need in football. All the good managers, all the good head coaches are good at what they do, they're good at their job, but they also carry a little bit of luck all the time.
A lot of Scotland fans will be travelling to America at great expense to back the team in this tournament.
I know I'm taking all my family. It's pretty expensive.
What's your message to the Scotland fans, to the Tartan Army?
Go there and enjoy yourself and do what you always do and give us 100% backing, because that's what they do. The American public will love them.
Okay. Thank you, Peter. Now the embargoed written section. Thank you.
Steve, forgive me for asking this question, but are you any clearer than what happened beyond the World Cup yourself?
I don't think this this is the day for speaking about me. Let's speak about the players, the squad, and leave that for them. There'll be plenty of time to talk about me, for good or bad.
You can understand why people want to know.
Absolutely. But let's just talk about the players today. I'd rather do that. I understand why you ask it.
The only slight thing is, though, Steve, that you did say in your own mind you would prefer to have this situation clarified before getting on and playing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will be. But let's just talk about the squad. Not me. I'm not important today.
You think it will be clarified before?
Hopefully. Yeah, that would be the plan.
Steve, it's been a really kind of difficult polarising into the domestic season. Do you hope that this World Cup and this squad can kind of help to mend some of the wounds in Scottish football just now?
I think the international scene is separate from the domestic scene, obviously. So the feel-good factor's there. It's around the international team. We feel good about ourselves. We feel good about the last qualifying campaign. Finished on a fantastic emotional high here at Hampden. So, we're good. We're good. I think the league season as well. It's important. Listen, the way it ended with